Good. Good morning, everybody. I took a cab today in the rain, so I think a lot of people are still in the rain. My name is Jean-Marc van Maren. I'm Dutch. I work for Cabka. I'm the Chief Product Officer for the group. And I'm here to talk to you about how we at Cabka approach sustainability and recycling for our future products. We consider ourselves to be really a circularity enabler. So I'll explain you a little bit about Cabka, the way we work, and what we do in recycling and sustainability. We really want to make a positive impact in this industry where we manage supply chains across the globe. So we are developing sustainable solutions for transport packaging. And we're recycling plastics. And at the end, we're closing the loop. And this company was founded already in 1994, started basically from recycling plastics, basically not yet producing any product. And today, this year, March 1st, Cabka was listed at the stock exchange in the Netherlands. So now we're a stock listed company. We grew from zero to a company that we are today. And what are we today? We had a revenue last year of about 170 million. We reprocessed over 150,000 tons of recycled plastics. We produce about 10 million pallets a year. We have about 700 people. We have 6 plants, majority of them in Europe, and 1 plant in St. Louis, Missouri. And we have 1 innovation center. And innovation is the core of what we do. We work with leading brands in various markets. Key market segments is retail, automotive, chemical, and pooling. Good morning. So how do we work? What is the Cabka way? The Cabka way is really trying to take post-consumer packaging waste or post-consumer waste, whatever, made out of plastics, post-industrial waste, test that, modify that to make a product out of that. And the products that we make, as mentioned before, are pallets and containers. So we think we produce pallets and containers that are applicable for each kind of specific application. Nestable pallets, durable pallets, pallets that need to be cost effective, but also containers that are shipping products from A to B and back and forth again. An example of one of these products is a product that we have at our booth here in the beginning of the hall. We call it our CapCube 4840. Basically, it's a very large pallet with a sleeve pack connected to it and a lid. It takes a very high load, it's collapsible and reusable. And if everything goes fine, I'm going to show you a video. So those containers are kind of replacing pelletized products, because basically by using collapsible containers, you eliminate the use of pellets. So you basically put your product into a container, ship it to a point of destination, unload it, and ship it back again. And we have a customer that's making over 100 loops with these units a year. So that's a pretty effective way of working compared to pelletized transport. This family of products we call CapCube, we also make in different dimensions. And in Europe, we also have a, let's say, famous customer called Tesla that uses an extended CapCube, which is double the size of the 4840 dimension, used to ship automotive parts to their suppliers and into their production plant in Germany. But more interesting for these kind of CapCubes and a moving trend from pelletized transport to containers is containers on wheels. And we call that CapRoll. And that's a product that basically is replacing again the need of using forklift trucks. Because basically now you're able to put everything in a container, move it anywhere in the location of your DC or manufacturing plant, and move it again into a truck, out of the truck, into the point of sale, and basically bring it back. That you see happening a lot actually in Europe, in various sectors, in automotive, in retail, because it's again eliminating a step of touching a unit with a forklift or manual handling in the supply chain. This is, by the way, Maria, one of our key designers in our headquarters in Valencia, our design center in Valencia, who's showing you the handling of the sleeve. And the lid, which the lid you can hang on the sides of the sleeve. So we think that wheels, pallets on wheels, containers on wheels is the second change that's happening in this industry. Oops. Then today, I'm going to show you also a new development that we're introducing here in the US, which will enter the market in the first quarter of next year. And that's what we call our new retail US 5. Basically, our new nestable distribution pallet, which is extremely light, nestable, comes with different versions, and a special type of dog bone. But again, it's easier to show a video than to look at this guy. So again, also for this pallet, please come to our booth, meet Bob, talk with Bob about this new nestable pellet that's going to change the retail market in the US. At the same time, we've introduced another new pellet in the US, which we call the Endure US8. Basically, this is a very simple one-piece molded 4840 pellet that behaves like a wooden pellet, is rackable, is stackable, has all the perfect entries and handling. On top of that, it's completely usable for food kind of applications. The pellet is very good in washing lines because there's no hole that could contain any potential contamination. And there's another interesting thing, and again, you will see that also on the booth. This pellet is designed with shock-absorbing ribs, which basically reduce the damage rate per trip versus wooden pellets. So I've shown you some products, and what is really the difference that Cabka makes in the market is that we are approaching a product not from a material, not from a design, or not from any production method. We're looking at making a product in an integrated way, so materials, design, and production. And we do that on a continuous way. We engineer materials, we design products, and at the end, we also recycle products. And it all starts with the material. So what you see here is a bale. Actually, it's a bale of mixed plastic waste. So it's not sorted, nice, clean PP or PE or PET. It's mixed plastics, which is basically the remaining residue that large sorting plants have over when they sort their plastics materials. They sort PE, PP, PET, film, and then they have a stream called mixed plastic waste. And we at Cabka are the largest reprocessor of mixed plastic waste in Europe. We reprocess about 60,000 tons of this material in our plants in Germany. At the same time, we also use this kind of material in the US, but at a smaller scale. Material is the key thing that we need and that we want to work with. But then it becomes complicated. Because to make a product out of virgin plastics is easy. You get a data sheet, you get all the support from a virgin supplier, you have a mold, you know what you have to do. When you work with recycled materials, you work with big variations, a lot of properties that are not up to spec. So what you have to do, you have to optimize your blend. So basically we work mainly with recycled PE and recycled PP, and we optimize these blends on a continuous basis to meet the performance for the pellet. And that's, I think, a crucial thing. Cabka, I think, is the largest developer of blends in the world. We have a database of over 3,000, 4,000 different blends that we're utilizing. So there's no material anywhere in the world that we haven't tested or have applied for in a product. But most important still is design. You have the material, then you need to optimize the design. And design, what you want to make is a product that is performing, that is strong, but that's at the same time is very light, has thin wall sections, as light as possible, and can be produced in a very quick way. So to be able to do that, we utilize a lot of computer models, FEA models, to basically design, but also to simulate. And we do not only simulate static loads, we also simulate dynamic loads or dynamic impact situations that are happening with pellets or containers. And that helps us a lot, because if you want to make a new pellet, you can do a development, and then you buy a mold, and you have a machine, you put it in the machine, and then for the first time you'll be able to test it. But if you're able to test your model on a computer with the right material data, that's important, you're able to really accurately predict the performance of your pellet. So that's what we're doing. We're designing and we're testing, and we're making small 3D prototypes, And we also make one-to-one real size prototypes for testing. When we have these prototypes, we test them in-house. So we have a small Virginia Tech in our facility in Valencia, where we basically simulate inclined impact testing, pellet drop test, high temperature, low temperature, long-term creep, and compression tests for containers. That's all what we are able to do in-house. So basically we are able to certify our own pellets in-house. We only go outside for, let's say, fire tests or specific vibration tests that are happening for certain customers. Then to the most important part, sustainability. That's what we are all in for. We want to reduce the CO2 footprint of our customers. We have to reduce our own CO2 footprint, but we would like to help you or your customers with reducing that. And we think that it's possible to do that with recycled material, no matter what kind of quality it is, no matter where it comes from. And to be able to prove that, we have, in our industry, we have, let's say, one enemy, and that's, let's say, wood pellets or corrugated boxes. And we're always trying to prove the benefits of plastics versus wood. And this is all about reusability and reuse. So this is an example of an LCA that we carried out for the beverage pool that we manage in Europe for Coca-Cola, Heineken, InBev, whoever. Many pellets have been around there for many years. They replaced an old wooden pellet. So what is interesting about this slide is that if you would make that pellet out of virgin plastics, you would have already a big reduction in greenhouse gas emissions for the usage. But again, if you're able to make that pellet out of recycled plastics, you even reduce it further. So there's no doubt about it that the future for any of these applications in pellets is recycled plastics. So that is replacing, let's say, a standard wooden pellet with a more or less standard kind of shape plastic pellet. But again, the big benefits for reducing greenhouse gas emissions come when you integrate nestability in a pellet, when you're able to transport less, let's say 1/3 of the transport when you return pellets. So the lighter the pellet, the better the nestability, the lower space it uses, the better it is to reduce these emissions. And again, there's a big difference between virgin plastics or recycled plastics. So we're trying very hard, and we would like to really become the global leader in circularity in this industry. So we work with you, we work with RPA, we are a member of PCEP in Europe. We participate in the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. We got an A-1 score. And we are also very proud, actually, that was announced yesterday, that we have again achieved EcoVadis silver grade. EcoVadis is not so known in US, but it's known by probably all the brands that are active here. Now, what does it, just to put it a little bit in perspective, what does 150,000 metric tons means? What kind of impact does it have? 150 metric tons of recycled plastics, that's the material that we reprocess every year and which is growing, is about the plastic waste that 5 million Europeans generate per year. That's 2 times the amount of plastics that's in the so-called garbage patch in the ocean. And we do 70% of that recycling in-house. So we're proud of that. But we see more opportunities and we would like to work with you.